Welcome, welcome. Yep, it's me, Anthony. And guess what? You're locked and loaded in the zone. That's right. I have something to say. Hope you have been enjoying the college bowl game season. And that's exactly what I want to talk about. As we take a look, first of all, how about this? Celebration Bowl ratings top multiple bowls, FCS playoff games. So how about we just get right on into this right now? That's right, you're locked and loaded in the zone with Anthony. And there is something I want to get to.
So for me, sort of makes
So yeah, I want to do that because I want you to hear the sounds of the band. Right, that's the sounds of a historically black college university band. As we get ready to talk about what transpired, as you know, bowl season basically kicked off over the weekend, and there were some interesting games on, some entertaining games. However, Celebration Bowl ratings top multiple bowls and FCS playoff games. We already knew the Celebration Bowl would break attendance records, but TV ratings are now out for the game as well. The game saw its third biggest TV audience ever in terms of television ratings, and its second in total viewership, as South Carolina State knocked off highly favored Jackson State 31-10. According to Showbuzz Daily, the game received a rating of 1.61 and had a 2.59 million viewers. Those numbers were third behind the Independence Bowl between UAB and BYU and the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl featuring Utah State and Oregon State. The Celebration Bowl dwarfed the remaining bowl games, which took place on Friday and Saturday. Its next closest competitor had a .99 rating and 1.6 million viewers. It more than doubled the viewership of the FCS semifinal between James Madison and North Dakota State, and blew the South Dakota State versus Montana State game out of the water. The game is over. The confetti has been cleaned up. Trophies have been handed out. South Carolina State shocked the world and at least stole a piece of the HBCU national title. But Deion Sanders and Jackson State have left their mark on the college football world in a short time. For comparison, the 2019 Celebration Bowl received a 1.23 rating and a 1.8 million viewers as North Carolina A&T and Alcorn State got into a shootout. The 2018 game between North Carolina A&T and Alcorn State held a 1.61 rating, but had a smaller viewership number with 2.35 million viewers. The 2017 game between North Carolina A&T and Grambling had a 1.59 rating and a 2.36 million viewers. The 2016 Celebration Bowl between Grambling State and North Carolina Central had a rating of 1.83 with 2.71 million viewers. The most in the game's history, the inaugural game between North Carolina A&T and Alcorn State remains the high mark in terms of ratings with 1.89 as 2.5 million people watched the inaugural game. The 2021 Celebration Bowl may not have topped the bars set early by the game, but its viewership continues to outshine and outperform many other bowls and its FCS brother. So there is a little bit as far as the rating wars are concerned and what Jackson State and South Carolina State did to make themselves look good. Sticking with the football scene, jumping from HBCU to the NFL, namely the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones reveals true feelings on Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliot. Rather than bog down in semantics, titles, or timeshare talks, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones alluded to the team's two-headed backfield as such. Ezekiel Elliott, the body punches, to Tony Pollard's proverbial knockout blow. The toll Zeke takes on the defense with his power, that's very impactful, Jones said during a Tuesday, December 21 radio interview on 105.3 The Fan via USA Today's Jory Epstein. Not finesse, but hard-nosed football we're trying to establish. Jones, who 1 year ago claimed Elliott is Dallas's best player, does not consider his $90 million investment inferior to Pollard, despite an obvious discrepancy in explosion and game-busting ability, qualities on display in Saturday's 21-6 win over the New York Giants. Pollard led the way on the ground, 74 rushing yards, 6.2 yards per carry, as the Cowboys collected 23 first downs and controlled the ball for more than 33 minutes, 23 seconds of the contest. This while dealing with a painful plantar fascia injury in his left foot. To Elliott's credit, however, he found the end zone on a 13-yard first quarter scamper and generally appeared healthier, taking a team-high 16 attempts for 52 yards. Elliott, of course, has been hampered by a right knee issue for which he's donning a brace. I think Zeke's kind of turned the corner there, Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy said in his December 19 post-game press conference via the Dallas Morning News. I think the brace, as he said, makes it more stable. Moving right along, Jerry's update on Tehran's status. The Cowboys' offensive line was, to say the least, shaky against the Giants, surrendering 3 sacks and 7 hits on quarterback Dak Prescott. Prescott regularly faced pressure off the edges due largely to the absence of star left tackle Tyron Smith, inactive with an ankle injury. During his radio interview, Jones intimated it's too soon to tell whether Smith could start Week 16 versus Washington, though virtually assured the 8-time Pro Bowler will return for the playoffs. I'm very optimistic about Tehran. I don't know about this week, but I certainly don't rule it out at all. For the longer haul, I'm very optimistic, Jones said December 21 on 105.3 The Fan. He added, there's no one more incrementally valuable to us than Tyron Smith. He makes a very huge, significant difference in how we execute in the offensive line. With Smith sideline, the Cowboys opted for a rotation on Prescott's blind side, mixing and matching Terrence Steele and Ty Neshke, a combination that McCarthy liked. It was something we talked about during the course of the week, and I think it's something that was beneficial for both guys, McCarthy said December 20 via the official team website. I think Terrence was 40-plus reps, and I think Ty came in at about 28. I liked the way it worked out, and I thought it was a good change-up for the other side to deal with. I think it was good to play both of those guys. Moving right along, looking at Tony Pollard's condition, he appears to be good for the stretch run. Fortunately for the Cowboys, Pollard's malady sounds scarier than it actually is. He's able to play through the tear in his foot, a matter of pain tolerance more than anything else. And so he will. Probably just load management throughout the week at practice, Pollard told reporters on December 19 via ESPN's Todd Archer. As far as game day, I think I should be pretty good from here on out. Buoyed by Pollard's third-year emergence, the Cowboys currently boast the NFL's sixth best rushing offense, averaging 128 yards per game. So there you have some news concerning the Dallas Cowboys, what Jerry Jones had to say. And a look at some HBCU news. When I come back, I am going to have some more for you concerning a particular recruit, one who turned some heads with his announcement last week. So, stay locked and loaded in the zone. This is your boy, Anthony. I'll be right back in a few. Welcome back. You're locked and loaded in the zone with Anthony. And have I got some more to get to? Some more HBCU game day news. Jackson State commit Travis Hunter, spectacular in loss. So let's just dive right on into this story. The nation's top high school prospect and Jackson State recruit Travis Hunter finished his high school career on Saturday in a heartbreaking loss. Hunter had nearly 200 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns as his number 3 Collins Hill team lost 40-36 to Graham Capwison from Washington State. The matchup was part of ESPN's State Champion Bowl series played at Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas, Nevada. Collins Hill was the Class 7A state champion from Georgia, while Graham Capwison was the 4A champion in Washington. Hunter scored a 28-yard touchdown with 28 seconds left to put the Eagles up 36-33. But Joshua Wood of Graham Capwison threw a 32-yard touchdown with 1 second remaining for the 40-36 win. Hunter also had an amazing 50-yard touchdown reception in the first half that made SportsCenter's top 10 plays. After the game, Hunter's mind was all on Jackson State. He quote tweeted the highlight from his touchdown, telling Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders it's time to work. His future school was suffering its very own heartbreak on Saturday as well. A turnover-plagued Jackson State fell to South Carolina State 31-10 in the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta. The attention is now on what the future holds for Jackson State and Travis Hunter. The fruit of this bold decision will be watched by many as Hunter now begins his transition into college. Speaking of South Carolina State and Jackson State, Deion Sanders had this to say. He said, South Carolina State kicked our butt. The first full season of the Deion Sanders era didn't have the storybook ending that many Jackson State fans had been dreaming of. JSU fell 31-10 to MEAC champion South Carolina State in the sixth edition of the Celebration Bowl. And afterwards, Sanders didn't mince words about his team's performance. South Carolina State kicked our butts, Sanders told the media after the game. Every way, every fashion, they were more physical than us, more disciplined than us. We were overconfident and felt like they were just going to hand us the game. JSU's defense gave up a season-high 31 points after not giving up more than 21 all season. Its offense produced just one touchdown, its worst outing since the season opener. My hat's off to everybody involved for South Carolina State, especially their secondary, he said. They've got a corner over there that should be recommended for the NFL. I am sure he is. He should get his shine on. We tried our best and got our butts kicked. That cornerback was Decobie Durant, the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year. Deion Sanders said that his team, which entered the Celebration Bowl 11-1, was overconfident and it caught him by surprise. We didn't have the fire we had in the locker room before the game, but there was something missing. When you looked into their eyes, you could see something missing. But I gave them a good old-fashioned talking to because they have accomplished a lot. They accomplished some things that haven't been accomplished in quite some time, and there is no reason to hang your head down or hate on our opponent because they played their butts off. I told them to speak to their opponents up and regroup. What happened today? I am going to fix that. I'm already fixing that or in the process of fixing that. I know the problems and I have the solutions. Shedeur Sanders had a tough outing. He completed just 50% of his passes after completing more than 65% during the regular season. He threw 2 interceptions and was sacked 3 times, including a costly turnover that changed the dynamics of the game. He finished with 1 touchdown and 175 yards passing. That is life. You are not always going to be successful all day, every day, Sanders said after the game. Sometimes that just happens. They just had a good game plan and they just stopped us offensively, and that can't happen. Speaking of that corner, and you heard his name mentioned in the report, Decobie Bryant. Well, Decobie Bryant named to multiple All-American teams. South Carolina State defensive back Decobie Durant, fresh off helping his team win the 2021 Cricket Celebration Bowl, has been named an All-American by 2 separate organizations after Monday's release of the Stats Perform FCS All-America teams. Durant was the second team selection, the lone MEAC player honored. Earlier in December, Durant, the 2021 MEAC Defensive Player of the Year and Cricket Celebration Bowl Dennis Thomas Defensive MVP, was named first team All-American by the Associated Press, joining Norfolk State offensive lineman Justin Red as the only MEAC players on the team. Considered one of the MEAC's top prospects, Durant racked up 38 tackles on the season and had his first career sack this past Saturday in the Cricket Celebration Bowl, including 30 solo stops while also leading the conference in pass defended with 15. He had 3 interceptions on the season, including a pair back in September against nationally ranked Clemson. Durant's performance in the Celebration Bowl earned the praise of Jackson State head coach Deion Sanders after the game. They've got a corner over there that should be recommended for the NFL. I'm sure he is, Sanders said, alluding to Durant. He should get his shine on. Decobie Durant will compete in the East-West Shrine Bowl in Las Vegas on February the 3rd, 2022. And keeping with the HBCU report, as I get ready to step out of the zone after this, MEAC gets last laugh at the Celebration Bowl. The last time there was a Celebration Bowl back in 2019, the MEAC left the game with the trophy for the fourth time in a row. In the 24 months that have followed, the conference has lost 3 schools, including 4-time winner North Carolina A&T. The 2 others, Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman, left for the SWAC. That brought the number of football programs in the conference to 6, with continuous talk and debate about the future of the conference. Since the summer of 2020, the MEAC has been looked at from the outside and sometimes the inside too as a conference on the brink of disaster. Rumors have circulated about current members looking to move elsewhere, while potentially attractive institutions are being courted but haven't made a move. Meanwhile, the SWAC grabbed 2 of its premier football programs, had a highly successful and visible spring season, and all the buzz that Deion Sanders and Jackson State brought along with it. And yet, when the dust settled, the MEAC came out on top, thanks to the underdogs from Orangeburg, South Carolina. South Carolina State started 2021 with a loss to Alabama A&M on its home field in Orangeburg. Alabama A&M University, the spring SWAC football champion, dominated in a 31-7 win. After the game, the AAMU players gloated on SCSU's field. The MEAC is done, one player said definitely. What is a MEAC? Another asked rhetorically. Nearly 300 days later, Decobie Durant answered definitively. What is a MEAC? Let me think, he said, tapping his temple. He then pointed to the top of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium to an electronic sign celebrating his team Celebration Bowl champs. The MEAC run this. With 5 wins in 6 years in the Celebration Bowl, plus the domination of the MEAC SWAC Challenge, it's hard to argue against that right now. Thomas sees fulfillment of Celebration Bowl vision. Long before the Celebration Bowl put nearly 50,000 fans in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, MEAC Commissioner Dennis Thomas envisioned it all. It took nearly a decade to make it happen, as he had to convince not only ESPN, but the presidents and chancellors in the league to make it happen. It warms my heart to have the vision to ask ESPN to have a post-season bowl game, and this happened in 2004. Not to give up on the vision, Thomas told the media after the game. I didn't know how the game was going to turn out. I knew how I wanted it to turn out, but to see the crowd increase, the fans, it just warms my heart. As he rides off into the sunset, the game he envisioned has come to fruition and appears set up to flourish despite what the naysayers may have thought. And he believes that the league he has guided for nearly 2 decades is set up to do the same as he rides off into the sunset. So there you have all this information in the zone. Some NFL news, but real deep and heavy on my brothers in the HBCU community. Well, I am about to bring this to a close. However, I hope you have enjoyed the content. And as we're coming up on the holiday seasons, I just want to say to each and every one of you, I hope you have a very merry and blessed Christmas, spending time with your loved ones, your family, your friends. And I'm not ashamed to say this. Remember the reason for the season. Yes, that's right. Jesus is the reason for the season. I want to end on this note. Remember this whenever you wake up in the morning. Oftentimes we say, this is not my day. And theoretically and biblically speaking, you are right, because Psalms 118 and 24 declares that this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Once again, thank you for tuning in to In the Zone with Anthony. Have a blessed day, evening, or night, or whatever time you may be listening to this podcast. I'll be back at you again. Until next time, be blessed.